curious about the human brain? Ever wondered if a mini-stroke or TIA could lead to something as serious as Parkinson's disease? Well, you're in the right place. I often think that they are linked in some way, and I wanted to prove it. So in this episode, we're diving into the connection between transient ischemic attacks, TIAs, mini-strokes, and Parkinson's disease. We'll explore if there's a link between them and try to answer the big question if the TIA can actually cause Parkinson's disease or if they're linked in any way. Stay tuned to learn about shared risk factors, the role of vascular health, and what you can do to protect your brain. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how these neurological conditions interact and what it means for you and your loved ones. Don't click away, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get started. First, let's break down what a TIA is and what Parkinson's disease is. So TIA, transient ischemic attack, it's often called a mini-stroke. A TIA happens when there's a temporary blockage in the blood flow to part of the brain. This can be due to a blood clot or a piece of plaque breaking off from the artery wall and traveling to the brain. Symptoms, which can be scary, include sudden weakness, vision problems, difficulty speaking or understanding, and facial muscle drooping. However, these symptoms usually only last a few minutes to hours and don't cause permanent damage. Parkinson's disease, on the other hand, this is a progressive neurodegenerative disorder where dopamine-producing neurons in part of the brain called the substantia nigra die off. Dopamine is crucial for smooth and balanced movements, so this loss leads to symptoms like tremors, stiffness, slowness of movement, and posture inability. The exact cause of these neurons dying is not known, but it's thought to be a mix of genetic factors and environmental exposures and aging. Now, there is a relationship between the TIA and Parkinson's disease. A direct cause, a TIA doesn't directly cause Parkinson's. They affect different brain regions and have different mechanisms. A TIA involves temporary lack of blood flow, while Parkinson's involves neuron degeneration. Both conditions do share risk factors like advanced age, high blood pressure, and atherosclerosis. I hope I said that right. That's hardening of the arteries, which can contribute to both vascular problems leading to a TIA and neurodegenerative processes related to Parkinson's. While a TIA itself doesn't cause Parkinson's, vascular issues could exacerbate Parkinson's symptoms or complicate its management. Vascular Parkinsonism, which is a different disease altogether, it is caused by multiple small strokes or chronic lack of blood flow in the brain. It presents with similar symptoms to Parkinson's, but has very different underlying cause. Now, vascular Parkinsonism is not the same as Parkinson's disease, but they can easily be confused. The main difference is that vascular Parkinsonism is directly caused by small strokes. These patients tend to have more problems with gait, balance, and lower body problems, and less about tremors. This disorder also typically progresses very slowly in comparison to other types of Parkinson's, but does have similar symptoms. But the treatment for vascular Parkinsonism is very different from Parkinson's disease because they have a different cause. So we'll be concentrating on Parkinson's disease, the one caused by the depletion of dopamine being produced due to the deterioration of the dopamine-producing neurons. I just wanted to mention that the vascular Parkinsonism does exist, but it's a different disease. So that is directly tied to the TIAs, where Parkinson's disease is not. Okay, now, what causes dopamine-producing neurons to die in Parkinson's disease? Researchers believe it's a mix of genetic factors, environmental exposures, and aging. Some studies suggest oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, and abnormal protein aggregation are the key players. In simpler terms, cell stress, problems with cell energy production, and the buildup of abnormal proteins might damage neurons. So, how do TIAs affect someone that already has Parkinson's? My mom's first stroke was in 2018. Her first TIA was not a stroke. And shortly thereafter, she was diagnosed with Parkinson's. Her second TIA was just in 2023. And shortly thereafter, her Parkinson's started to progress very quickly. She had a lot of new symptoms, and a lot of them were worsening. So to me, it seems like they are more related than they want to let us know about. So here is what they say. How to increase symptom severity. Motor symptoms like tremors, stiffness, slow movement, and non-motor symptoms like cognitive impairment, mood changes, speech difficulties may worsen after a TIA. My mom's definitely did. It also increases the risk of vascular Parkinsonism. Small strokes can lead to vascular Parkinsonism, which mimics Parkinson's but stems from vascular issues. Studies show that a person with Parkinson's disease will have intensified symptoms after a TIA. Can a person have vascular Parkinsonism and Parkinson's disease? I'm not a doctor. I can only rely on the information I have found from experts, and they say yes, you can indeed have both vascular Parkinsonism and Parkinson's disease. But it's very hard to distinguish which symptoms are caused by which disease. And the treatments will vary based on the patient's results. Because if they have Parkinson's, they need dopamine medications, and if it's the vascular Parkinsonism, they have to deal with the vascular problems. There's also an impact on medication effectiveness. Parkinson's disease medications might become less effective if the brain areas they target are affected by the TIA, complicating symptom management. There's also an increased risk of an actual stroke. People with Parkinson's disease who experience a TIA have a higher risk of an actual stroke, necessitating careful cardiovascular health management. And there tends to be an overall health decline, like my mom had. The combination of Parkinson's disease and TIA effects can lead to a faster decline in health and functional ability, affecting the quality of life. And that is definitely what my mom has experienced. According to the Michael J. Fox Foundation, a new study suggests tiny asymptomatic strokes might also lead to Parkinson's. Researchers at the University of Manchester in the United Kingdom found that silent strokes might cause inflammation in different brain areas, leading to the death of dopamine neurons in the basal ganglia, contributing to Parkinsonism. Scientists are still trying to pinpoint why dopamine neurons die in Parkinson's, and understanding the role of inflammation could develop drugs to slow or stop the disease. One study by the Parkinson Institute is looking at a large group of twins to see if external factors that increase brain inflammation, like head trauma or chemical exposure, might also raise the risk of Parkinson's. This is a whole video in itself, this inflammation link to Parkinson's, and that's what we're going to uncover in the next episode. Make sure you subscribe so you won't miss out on that information. It's very, very interesting. I didn't even know it was a thing until I started researching some of the terms for this video, and it led me down that path. And that's how I'm getting most of my information, actually. I start looking at one thing, and then you head down a rabbit hole to the next. Super, super interesting, actually. I've learned so much. So, like I've said in previous videos, I have over 50 videos planned. So make sure that you do subscribe. And I only will do one video a week. You're not going to get bombarded. But the information is really fascinating. Anyway, see you next time. Thank you for watching.